Hi, this is Daniela Wolf with Bestie Life, the podcast, and this is your community to support you through the little and not so little events that make up your day-to-day life. From the I've got this moments to the I just can't moments. We are here to empower all women to find and develop the skills they need to find peace, balance, and the bliss in their busy. Through solo episodes as well as interviews with amazing women who share their journey and their story and how it works for you. I hope you find the inspirations to make you laugh, think, as well as maybe rethink what you thought you knew, and connect as we realize that we are all living similar ups and downs and don't have to do it alone. So excited for you to hear this episode, and thanks so much for joining me today. Hi, this is Daniela with Bestie Life, the podcast, and today I'm so excited for you to meet Tatiana LaBello. Her story is going to amaze you because she has always had an entrepreneurial spirit, an attitude of gratitude, and an insatiable desire to succeed, which has allowed her to attain a magnitude of accomplishments. And they span everything from being a host, an actress, a spokesmodel, a personal trainer, health and fitness consultant, beauty advisor, pageant consultant, and coach, as well as she's won many national fitness titles, been a top fitness competitor. She has been a former beauty pageant title holder, an NFL and NBA professional cheerleader. She's had fitness infomercials, ESPN's top fitness shows, acting on the big screen. I mean, the list just goes on. She is now an author with 2 books. She's a certified life coach and lifestyle specialist, and she is passionate about empowering women to live their dream lives through her Beautiful You group coaching program, which is a one-on-one session and really motivational talks. So thank you, Tatiana, for joining us today.
I am so excited to be here. Thank you, Daniela.
What a whirlwind it has probably been in your journey. And I would love for you to kind of break it down and share it for us. What has brought you to where you are today? Because I'm sure all those pieces are incorporated in what you do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, it actually started when I was 3 years old. I became, my mother was a baton twirling teacher. So I just grew up in a very active, competing, very healthy lifestyle. So we were always on the road and just practicing and competing. But I had no idea at age 3, 5, up till 9, that was really shaping and forming me for what was to happen in my life, which was setting goals and practicing hard to win that trophy and competing and being on stage. So later on, that would show up. But at the age of 9, I retired as a world championship for my age group with 150 trophies. And so that really set the stage. And then when I was 14, I became certified to teach aerobics. And little did I know that was my entrepreneurial spirit coming out, because I started teaching at my own studio at 14. And by the time I was 19, I got signed on with a very prestigious company here in Houston, Texas. So all the train of events, which led to fitness competitions and beauty pageants. And, my mother taught me that 3 principles: you got to work hard, you got to believe in yourself, and you've got to never give up. Mm-hmm. And so those 3 things is what was really the foundation. But she also instilled in me, you can do, be, and have anything that you want in this world. You just have to stick with those 3 things. And so everything kind of evolved from there. And I grew into fitness competitions, which led me to fitness consulting. And then that led to mindset work, led to life coaching, because, I really believed in not only the body, but it's also the mind, body, and spirit. They all work synergistically together. So it's been a phenomenal journey, but the whole bottom line is I love to inspire, encourage, and motivate others to really step into who they were meant to be, and to recognize that, because we all have gifts and talents and abilities. And so I love to be able to facilitate and help with that.
I love all of that. And definitely those 3 principles your mom taught you, I think, are something universal that you can translate to any field, to any area, to any stage of life that you're in. I think being able to work hard and have that drive and determination is what helps us to be successful, whether it's as an entrepreneur, as a parent, as an employee, regardless of what our field is in. So then the books, what are those about?
Yeah, so my first book, when I was competing in fitness competition, I was searching for something out there that would tell me how to compete and how to win. There wasn't anything out there. So 3 years of trial and error, blood, sweat, and tears, I learned success principles. And so I started my business to where I would train fitness competitors that were coming in, and I would show them all the components of competing. Well, I realized not everyone could afford my services way back then. I decided to put them in coupled in a book that was affordable and could reach more people. So it was a step-by-step guide to fitness competition success. That was a long time ago. And then not that long ago, recently, I just have a book compilation with Les Brown. It's called The Breakthrough. And
Okay.
in that, I share my story of how I overcome limiting beliefs and how I teach that, but just kind of my own personal journey and story into that. And then the next one coming up that I'm in the process of working on, Daniela, is The Beautiful You. And it is, that will be coming out by the end of this year.
I love that. And definitely, I love how you keep bringing up the mind and body piece, because I think so many times we are just focused on the external of what we see, whether it's what we're producing tangibly or how we're looking or that type of thing, not realizing the impact of our thoughts and how they affect what we're going to do on the outside.
Absolutely, because that really was my framework, was growing up on stage and exterior, then getting into fitness and modeling and acting and infomercials. All of that was a projection of the way I looked on the outside. However, what we feel on the inside is more important. So it's an inner work that radiates outward. And that's what I'm going to talk about in my book, The Beautiful You, is that inner work. And we're all beautiful in our uniqueness and our specialness. And we were all created and meant for something extraordinary. It's just a matter of finding our purpose and our why and our passion and moving toward that. But we are all destined for something so much bigger than ourselves.
Right, absolutely. And so, if someone's listening right now, what are kind of the areas when you talk about mindset, when they start to work on it, that you have them begin with or focus on?
So the mindset work that I do is pretty amazing. So we really start with, the whole thing is awareness, because we have to be aware of our actions first before we can start to change them. And so what I have identified with, and what I love sharing, is coming up with, it's actually called climb.
Okay.
CLIMB. So kind of this framework that I work with for mindset is, and with my clients, to help women step into their calling with clarity and confidence and courage, is the climb framework. So C is for clarity. So not only the awareness, but defining your vision, defining where you want to go, like what's your ideal life look like, and then what are your core values, making sure that we're aligning that, setting clear goals, and then visualization techniques are extremely important that ingrain it and are tangible, that motivate us. Then L is for letting go of limiting beliefs. So first, we identify what those limiting beliefs are, recognizing our thoughts and our beliefs, the ones that are holding us back. And we go through this through journaling prompts to uncover what these beliefs are. Then I take them through exercises that reframe the negative thoughts into empowering and life-giving thoughts. And then affirmations, encouraging the use of affirmations to reinforce those empowering beliefs daily. Then the I stands for intention and action, because that is extremely important. Setting those daily intentions, starting each day with a clear intention of what the goals and the values that we're seeking, then a clear action plan of developing specific plan that will move us toward our achievements of our goals, and then consistent action. Everything begins and ends with that action, that we're taking the small steps toward the goals, making progress, not perfection,
Right.
progress. And then M is for mindset mastery. And what I do with the growth mindset is just encourage others to view challenges as an opportunity to learn and to grow, as actually stepping stones to get us closer and closer where we need to be. It also builds resilience and perseverance. So techniques that build that resilience, and reflecting on what our past successes are and learning from our setbacks, knowing that they're set up for a comeback. So that, and then the self-compassion part is giving ourselves grace and practicing kindness and love, and treating ourselves with the same respect and the same kindness that we would offer a friend. And then B stands for build a support system. So it's imperative that we surround ourselves with like-minded and people that are going to encourage us. That's why my group coaching is phenomenal. And that's why you here on the Bestie Life podcast, just making sure that you are surrounding yourself with people that empower and support you, and challenge you, but also hold you accountable, and keeping you on track, and then celebrating successes. So that's kind of a framework that I go by, the CLIMB framework.
I love all of that. So if you were just listening, I know I'm going to rewind this and take some notes, because I think definitely the way you break it down, Tatiana, is so clear, and it makes it easy to be able to know which phase you're in. And definitely that last one, I know they say you're most like the 5 people you surround yourself with. So to be very intentional as far as who are you spending time with, what kind of things are they saying, because that becomes our narrative over time, I believe, as well.
It's so true, so true. And that's why I love listening to podcasts, yours as well, because that really just pours in good, positive information, because what comes in comes out. So we've got to be very cognizant of who and what we're listening to.
Absolutely. Because that who doesn't have to always be in person. I think a lot of times we just assume it has to be our friends, our family, but also what are you reading? What kind of shows you're watching? The news? What kind of podcasts are you listening to? What are those who's that maybe are indirect, but still having such an influence?
That is so true. My whole life, I've in the competition world, just surrounded myself with a team. And there's no me and team. It's a collectively working together toward this common goal. And personal growth and development has been my lifelong journey, and I realize the impact of it. So I love learning so I can share, but leaders are readers. And I know that everyone on this listening to this podcast, you're a leader, and you can make that positive impact to the people in your surrounding, even if it's your family or your neighbors or people that you come into contact. You have that ability, and you have that impact that you can make in your surroundings.
Right. So in addition to who you're surrounding yourself around with in your team, what are some of your own personal strategies that you implement on kind of a consistent daily basis to help yourself stay in that right mindset?
I love this question, and anything that I teach upon, it's things that I'm actually in the process doing or have done. So my daily disciplines and habits are, I have 5 of them I do every single morning. And the first thing I do is, because it lays the grounding work for me, is I can stay centered and grounded, is I start my day off in prayer. Start my day off in prayer, meditation, and my Bible studies, because that is truly what is important to me. Then I move on to the physical aspect. I get to the gym, I get some movement, either yoga or doing some weight training, cardio. Then I come back and I do my journaling. So I love this practice. This has been my #1 hack that I absolutely love, and I've been doing it for years, and it works. I start off with 3 gratitudes, and I have a journal. I can show you my journal. I have a journal of, I write 3 gratitudes, but I also write why I'm grateful for them. And every day it's something new, it's something different, and why I'm grateful in that moment for them. And then I have 3 power goals for that specific day. And of course, they all change because my overlying of where I'm headed to, each of those 3 power goals are moving me closer to my end goal. So
Right.
that practice I highly recommend. And then I do my affirmations. I love doing affirmations and incantations and empowerment. And so all these techniques about the climb framework is things that I've implemented and integrated into my daily, and it doesn't take that much time, but we got
Right.
to find what works for me. But what I work with my clients on is what works for you.
Hmm.
What do you want, and how could you implement something that's empowering to you? So it's all specific.
Yeah. And I love how you talk about, just mentioning that time part of it, because I do believe people have this assumption that you have to have all this time in the morning. I know a lot of the women I work with, they've got kids, it's busy, they're trying to hustle at the door, but there's so many different ways and options to implement things, whether it's movement in different blocks of time, different ways that it can look, these meditations, journaling, these gratitude types of things, they can be done audio, where you're like speaking into something. You don't have to always be sitting and writing. You can do them when you're driving, like there's different ways to integrate these practices, like you said, in the way that's going to work best with the time that you have. So it doesn't feel like you're trying to, put that square through the circle hole and not fit.
That's absolutely true. I love that you said that, because you're right. A lot of times we think it has to look a certain way, and it
Mm-hmm.
can look totally different, and we're all unique. And so finding the best practices that empower and inspire individuals, that's what's going to work for you. What works for you might not work for me. So yeah, I love that you said that you can integrate them into what you're already doing.
Yeah. And even with the people you're doing it with, with your colleagues, with your family, with your kids, it doesn't have to be done in isolation, quiet by yourself.
Right. Yes. I believe in both having that quiet time and solitude, but I also believe in collaboration. I
Hmm.
love collaborating with individuals that are just, we speak the same language.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
are on this path of finding bliss with all the
Yep.
busyness.
Absolutely. And I know you talked about gratitude, which I love to talk about as well, because I think it's a completely underutilized form of self care that, like you said, it goes anywhere. It's always with you. You're always able to pull from it, And so I always ask my guests, what would you say are the top 2 or 3 things you're the most grateful for?
In this moment, I'm grateful for my calling. And what I mean by that is I get to do what I'm called to do. I discovered it and truly feel fulfilled because it's a meaningful goal. And that's really, I'm so grateful that I get to operate in that framework, in my calling, my purpose, my vision, my mission, which
Hmm.
is so much greater than me. And I'm just grateful for that and sharing my message. And if I could just impact one person, it is worth it to me. I'm grateful definitely for my health, that I see, a lot of people like struggling. And, in one of my books, my book Breakthrough, I talk about your health is your wealth. A lot of times you can't buy your health back. So that's why self-care and making sure that you have you time, giving yourself grace, loving on yourself, but really using that time to fill your cup up
Hmm.
and focus on your health, because we can't give from empty cups. So those 2 things in this moment, I am super grateful for.
I love all of that. So, where can people find you, Tatiana? How could they work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to my website, which is labellolifestyle.com. You can book an appointment with me. Actually, for your listeners, Daniela, I'm
Hmm.
offering a 40-minute free complimentary vision strategy session. So if you have a vision, but you're kind of like not clear on it, I'd love to work with you and see how we can get you moving in the right direction, empowered, inspired, encouraged to take that leap of faith to believe in yourself and know that you're capable of doing it. So I'm offering that 40-minute vision strategy session. You can find me there, and all over social media under Tatiana LaBello.
Awesome. And all those links will definitely be live in the show notes below. So thank you so much, Tatiana, for joining us today, for sharing your climb method and helping to hopefully inspire and motivate our listeners to start taking action on their mindset.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Daniela.
Thanks so much again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know any questions or comments that you have. Also, if you can please leave an Apple 5-star review so that this episode can be shared with more women. There's 2 quotes that I love. Alone we may be strong, but together we are stronger, as well as when women support each other, incredible things happen. So let's be stronger and incredible together, as well as maybe just have some fun along the way. Thanks so much and talk to you soon. Bye.